Hello, everybody. I hope all is well. I am back. It's been a while, and I'm just going to jump right in. I got a new camera. To God be the glory. Finally. So if it looks crooked, if something looks crooked, it's me. It's not the camera. It's good to go. And it adjusts and does all this stuff on its own. So, anywho, to God be the glory. I'm just going to jump in. So, I'm going to start off with Candace Owens, as usual. So, Candace Owens is finally coming around to the fact that Erica Kirk and the top people at Turning Point USA are liars. She's finally coming around to that fact. Because I've been saying in my last few videos, when people show you who they are in this day and time, go ahead and believe them. Used to, you could give people a chance and say, maybe they'll change, maybe I got it wrong, this, that, and the other. Those days are done. So she's finally coming around to that. And I got quite a few things I want to talk about. I'm going to try and make it quick. But, so, yeah, she's finally coming around to it. They sent her a cease and desist. TPUSA did. They sent Candace Owens a cease and desist. So, they sent, I talked about it in the last video. I feel crazy because I don't have my headphones on, and I'm used to always having those on. This camera has microphones built in it. So, I don't know. I want to put my headphones on. I'm going to check my volume and stuff like that here in just a bit. But anywho, they sent Wolves, TPUSA sent Wolves and Finance a cease and desist because he was saying when it came to the Doge effort where Charlie Kirk had sent out that letter about the Doge that he wanted to do, that he sent out that notice about 8 days before he was taken out. People were calling it a Doge audit because that's what we understood Doge to be. It was like a surgical audit. And so they sent him a cease and desist and said that it was actually a Doge effort. So he made the corrections that they specified in the letter and went on talking about them. So I just want to say a few things about Candace Owens. They sent her the cease and desist. She's finally come around to the fact, y'all may see my eye jumping again. I have no idea what's going on with that, but something's going on with that. She's finally come around to the fact that Erica Kirk is a liar. Candace Owens said on her podcast, it's been a few podcasts that have gone by since the last time I was on here. Don't want to just keep like beating it over and over, for the same things, but she's finding out new information, and it's bringing her to this point where she's got now that they're just liars. She's just a liar, and it's making her feel some type of way, and I don't know, just she's looking at things different. So, according to Candace Owens in New York Times, they hated Charlie Kirk. And evidently Erica Kirk sat down with the New York Times in person 8 days after Charlie Kirk's assassination and did an in-person interview. Then she found out on September 21st last year, after Charlie Kirk was taken out, that Erica Kirk had Charlie Kirk's public memorial at the State Farm Stadium. So she was moving pretty quickly along in her grief. And then on September 22nd, somebody reported to Candace Owens, they sent her an email, I think, where they saw the McCoys and Erica Kirk having a private dinner at Charlie Kirk's favorite restaurant. The person who sent the email said they were in joyous spirits, and they all sounded like they were just very joyful, in high spirits, and were very thankful, and we're talking about all the people that they had gotten registered to vote. Erica Kirk was happy and thankful. Now, this is when she would, so Candace Owens got a hold to a Zoom call, evidently, that Erica Kirk had allowed to be recorded. I don't know why people want to record these things when that's up to them. But anyhow, Candace Owens got a hold to it. Erica had like this Zoom call meeting thing on camera, and it was a bunch of people on the Zoom call. And Erica Kirk, I saw the video. She looked wiped out. She looked like she was going through it. But it looked like she shed a tear. I don't know if I really saw a tear, but it looked like she shed a tear every here and there. She just was a little happy and was thanking everyone for all their hard work, for working 20-hour days, and she was telling people that's what Charlie Kirk would have wanted. She was also telling the employees that they had plenty of resources for people to use as they grieve. She seemed like she was full of laughter. At certain points, she was a little sad, I believe. But she was saying full steam ahead, and she was talking about getting back to work. She was talking about their donors, all the orders for hats and things that they had that were all the work they had to do. She was talking about the AmFest that was coming up. This was in the weeks after Charlie Kirk had been taken away. She was talking about registrations. And she was just saying she was ready to get back to work, and there's so much to do. She was laughing and smiling. She talked about the future vision of TPUSA. You be still in there before I get my fly swatter. I'm talking to my dog. She's in her cage. I took her outside 2 times, and she didn't never make a turd. I'm very upset with her. So it's cold outside. I hope y'all are all doing good from all this snow and ice that we've had. Let me tell you, you done run my light bill up. What? Oh my goodness. I done called the heat pump man to come by here because I thought my heat was broke. It was so cold. Let me tell you, he said your heat's working fine. I said, this can't be right. It's just running and running and running and running. I got sidetracked. He said, no, this is what it's supposed to do. And then it kicks on into the auxiliary heat. And you know when it kicks on into the auxiliary heat, your bill's going to be about $5,000. So when this bill come out, I'm going to tell y'all about it, Lord willing, if I remember, because this is just, woo. I'm going to have to get a job. To God be the glory, besides the job I already got. Anyhow, back on subject here, but I hope everything is good. Everybody had plenty to eat and had water and food, and Lord help the people that was cold and was hungry. Lord, I prayed for them. You know, I don't know what else to do. I don't run across nobody like that, but Lord Jesus, help us all. We need the Lord so bad, all of us. But anyhow, back to, she was talking about in this meeting, they had so much to do. She talked about the future vision of TPUSA. She was saying that she knew that Charlie Kirk was prophet, excuse me. I didn't bring nothing in here with me to drink. I'm sorry. She was saying that she knew that Charlie Kirk was prophetic. They had Justin as the COO. They were preparing for 2030 and beyond. She was saying full steam ahead. She was saying how excited she is. And she was saying that we're witnessing the gospel in real time by all the work that they're doing. I don't understand how, but okay. I don't know. She talks about God and things like that every once in a while, but I did see Russell Brand at the AmFest they had in December last year, and I thought he had a really good message. He's a Christian. I think he not long ago gave his life to Christ, if I'm not mistaken. And he had a message, and it was really touching. I thought it was what he said was really touching. And there was another guy there, this young guy, I can't remember his name, but he had a really good message. And I'm pretty sure he probably spoke to the young people that were there in the audience and whatnot. But Russell Brand, he had a really good message. He actually got down on his knees and he prayed, and I was just touched. I was like, oh, this is absolutely excellent of him. So, just adjusting my screen there. So, moving on. Let's see. So basically, she just was telling everybody to get back to work, and Charlie would want them to all work, and just pushing them to work hard. And I just want to say, she was telling people about all the resources that Turning Point USA had for people that needed to grieve while they were working and whatnot. And I was just, I don't know, it was just like, don't you need to grieve? I mean, your husband was just killed in front of the entire world, but no, just a different type of person. Anyway, Candace went on, she was talking about how much of a gifted person Charlie was. She and Charlie actually were gifted kids, went into these gifted kids programs. I don't know much about that. I didn't. It's actually important, but I don't know why. I'm not off on that thing about gifted children and all that. But there was this man, Charlie Kirk. He was from Chicago, and there is this man named Bill Montgomery. He had military ties. Candace talked about this a little bit on her show. He's the one who actually got a hold of Charlie Kirk when he was really young, and advised Charlie Kirk to delay going to college and to start an organization when he was very young, I guess 17 years old maybe. And he actually helped and pushed Charlie Kirk to start an organization. And Candace Owens said, next thing you know, a little bit later, TPUSA was a full-fledged organization. And it just comes back to my mind that, excuse me, that he told Candace Owens that when he signed his name on the line for TPUSA, he knew that it was going to cost him his life. So he was so young. I've said it before in my other videos. I think that maybe he knew, maybe he believed that things would change. Maybe he was a bit naive. And as he got further along in his walk in TPUSA, he saw that, no, these people are not actually going to change and come up to where I'm at. It really is. I'm surrounded by people that are not. So, yeah. She said when Candace Owens said that Charlie Kirk told her that when he was young and in these gifted kid programs that they wanted to drug him, but his mom said no, and she knew he was a genius. So it's just a lot with Charlie Kirk. I don't know. It's just. So Candace Owens found out that Erica Kirk, she was where they had this meeting where they were in the Hamptons, and they were like making threats, kind of sort of towards Charlie Kirk, kind of doing like an intervention. You know how you threaten somebody on the low without really threatening them. We all know how that can be done. And those of us of a certain age, we know how that can be done. And come to find out, Erica Kirk, she was there at the Hamptons. She was there when the Bibi Netanyahu call came through, and Bibi Netanyahu said that he wanted to fund Turning Point USA to the next level. Charlie Kirk turned it down. And when Erica came to Tennessee and met with that meeting with Candace Owens for 4.5 hours, she didn't remember a lot of stuff she was saying to Candace. the Fort Huachuca story that Candace had put out there when she had the whistleblower Mitch that came on her show. Excuse me. It looked like it was Andrew Colvett, who I've talked about in a few videos back, that was making up stuff to tell the guy from Paramount Tactical what to say to his audience online, I guess as he went live. But actually, Erica Kirk was in the background, supposedly, letting, because she had to have sent Andrew Colvett the picture of what were supposed to be her children with her finger over their faces or whatever. It was just foolishness. So, like Candace said, you know, you had the 4.5-hour meeting with me. You could have just reached out to me and said, this is da-da-da-da-da, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but you didn't. So why not? But, you know, if we have common sense, like if we really call a thing like it is, we see it's because she's a liar, in my opinion. And I still have the right to have an opinion. And I've pulled out my law books. I've got a lot going on, but I intend to get into them. But, I mean, she's just a full-fledged liar. Now, this I did not know. Candace talked about this in a few episodes. Like I said, since the last time I've been on here, it's been a little bit of a while. And so she said that when Charlie Kirk was assassinated that day on September 10th, it was reported that Erica Kirk and Andrew Colvett both went to Utah, but they were in separate planes. Their flights were an hour difference in time. So Erica Kirk landed on the tarmac first, and Andrew Colvett got there an hour later. So Candace was saying that I saw a piece of the interview that Erica Kirk did on Jesse Waters' show, where she said when she landed in Utah, she went straight to the hospital. But I believe Andrew Colvett, he is the one who told Candace that when he landed in Utah, he got off the plane and he ran right into Erica's arms and just kind of collapsed in her arms on the tarmac. And Candace said that really disturbed her, because why were you still there an hour later on the tarmac and not at the hospital? So what I wrote was their planes were an hour apart. On Jesse Waters' show, Erica Kirk said she landed in Utah and went right to the hospital. I saw that, what she said on Jesse's show. I didn't watch the whole thing because I couldn't. But anyway, it sounded very rehearsed. And then when Andrew got off the plane in Provo, Utah, he collapsed into Erica's arms. So Erica Kirk waited for Andrew for an hour. I can't imagine. Now, once they went to the hospital, Erica Kirk went in through the back of the hospital, and Andrew Colvett went in through the front where other TPUSA employees were, or where they went in at. To me, that's a little cray-cray. I wait for you for an hour on the tarmac, and then we go. You collapse into my arms. Supposedly his wife is there. Erica Kirk, of course, says she didn't remember. So I don't know. I didn't get any clarity from Candace on whether or not his wife was there or not. But why, if I'm Erica Kirk, why do I have any arms for you to collapse into? If I wait for you for an hour, which I wouldn't do, unless you were somebody special to me, I'd wait for you for an hour. But no, if it was me, I wouldn't wait for an hour for anybody. You have to meet me at the hospital. My husband's just been assassinated in front of the entire world. But if I did, no, I'm collapsing into your arms. If there's to be arms to collapse into, I don't have no arms for you to collapse into, because it's my husband that was just murdered. So if there's any collapsing into any arms, it's going to be me collapsing into somebody else's arms. You're not going to collapse into my arms. I don't have no arms for you to collapse into. This is how weak and done in I am after my husband's been murdered in front of the entire world. No. So why are you waiting for an hour? Why do you have arms for him to collapse into? That's crazy. And I'm grown. I'm fully grown now at this time. By God's grace, I'm fully grown. Okay? No. Like, if I'm waiting for you, you're special to me. Because my husband's laid up there in the hospital dead. He's been murdered in front of the entire world. No. That does not sound right to me at all. Anyway, there's this woman, moving on. This woman who is supposed to be Charlie Kirk's widow. As Candace say, we don't know, but we know. Okay, and I'm going to say we know, because we ain't foolish. We wasn't born last night. Most of us weren't even born at night. So, no, we know. We know. Yes, we do. We know. So, Candace, moving on, she says she's warned Charlie Kirk about this woman, Stacey Sheridan, who is this woman who is always at Erica Kirk's side. Ever since Charlie's passing, she's been right there by Erica's side. She controls and oversees fundraising, and she's been right there onward. Candace Owens says she personally warned Charlie Kirk about Stacey Sheridan. She said, this is what Candace Owens said on her show. I had to write this down word for word. She said, there is no wrong into hell that Stacey Sheridan will not descend upon for $1. I was so tickled. So, I mean, just get that. That says a lot about who you are. If there's a ladder into hell, you'll hit every rung if there's $1 attached to it. It don't matter how low it goes. That says a lot about you. That says you're an evil satanic witch, in my opinion. And I'm allowed to still have one at this time. To God be the glory. She said she warned Charlie about this woman. This woman, I remember seeing her. She spoke at Charlie's memorial or something on stage. There is a clip of her in a SUV with Erica Kirk, supposedly crying. Erica Kirk is, right? I didn't see any tears. As they're almost off screen, it seems as if Erica covers one eye in an attempt to wipe at the other. 5.5 days after Charlie Kirk's death, Erica is at the office saying she feels so blessed and honored to be in this position of privilege. Now, while she made that Zoom call video, Terrell Farnsworth, he was in the background off camera in the video. There was a glass in the door that she had shut. You could see him in the background there, wherever they were at. Now, Terrell Farnsworth is the one who was there with Charlie Kirk the day he was assassinated. He was the one who moved Charlie Kirk's chair from where Charlie Kirk was sitting and died in the chair, allegedly. He moved the chair. This is for sure. I saw him do this on camera. He moved Charlie Kirk's chair from where it was sitting to the back of the tent, got up in the chair with his shoes on, up in the tent, reached down, took the cameras down from the back of the tent, left the chair there at the back of the tent, laid the cameras down on the table that was sitting in front of Charlie, took the SD cards out of the camera, left the cameras there, and took the SD cards. That was Terrell Farnsworth. He was the one that I said he should have been charged with obstructing justice or tampering with evidence or something like that. I said that a few videos back because it was an active crime scene. Like, nobody knew what had happened yet, you know. And he's up there moving stuff around and taking cameras down and taking SD cards and doing all this stuff. Like, who does that? And you don't go to jail or something. He was in the background while she was making this video. So, she's saying in this video, back to the Zoom video, she said, everybody grieves differently. If someone's acting weird, don't read into it. Okay. And the Liar of the Year award goes to... So I'm just going to say this about Candace Owens. I think that's all I got about her. They still want Candace Owens to shut up and to go away. If you ask me, she is still very much in danger. And, you know, whether you like her or not, I pray for people I don't like all the time. I pray for people that do me wrong all the time. She needs prayer because she's fighting a big, evil monster. Wicked. This is principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what this is. She needs prayer. They want her to go away and to shut up. But they realize she's not, and they can't shut her up, which makes her very dangerous. She cannot be controlled. They don't know what to do. They want her to be... They want her to be, I meant to be on the mouth and not the neck. So, there is a CEO that Candace talks about. His name is Jeffrey Boring. I don't know who this man is. She says he's with the Daily Wire. This guy is saying that what Candace Owens is doing is so bad. She's investigating into Charlie Kirk, who was one of her closest friends. And he's saying that this is so bad what she's doing because she's calling people out, and she's just saying it. She's saying all the quiet parts. She's saying it out loud. He's saying that what she's doing is so bad that she should be akin to porn. People should be ashamed to say that they talk to Candace Owens or that they associate with Candace Owens, like they would be ashamed to say, yeah, I watch porn. This is how you, so nobody would really say that out loud unless you're a group of perverts, which we know allegedly that all these people are. But anyhow, I'm not even going down that rabbit hole yet. But he's saying that people should be ashamed to say they know Candace Owens or talk to her or agree with her, like they're embarrassed about saying that they watch porn. It's absolutely absurd, if you ask me. Now, I've been on here almost 30 minutes. I'm going to try and make this quick, but I do want to just touch on this. I think this is important. This man, I didn't know what was going on. Let me say this first. I seen where... So they've been giving us dumps of this Epstein crap. And this is absolutely disgusting, this stuff. All this stuff that's coming out with these Epstein files and whatnot. This stuff is just sick. But you have to know, like, you can't be shocked. You have to know that these people with 300, under Joe Biden, they kept saying it was 350, 60, 70, 80, I can't remember the exact number, 300 and some thousand children that went missing. You have to know that that big group of children ain't gonna go missing unless somebody intended for them to. So, I mean, you have to know that the Bible don't tell us to pray against spiritual wickedness in high places and principalities and powers for no reason. These people are absolutely sick. And I'm wondering, this is just my opinion. I don't mean to be going back and forth, but I just want to say this quickly. I'm wondering if that wasn't a big part of Charlie Kirk's, I wanted to throw this out there earlier, but it was so soon after he had been taken out, I didn't really want to bring it up. But Candace Owens has even said that everywhere she's looking in this investigation, she keeps seeing children coming up here and there. And it just, I don't know, something ain't right. And it's Arizona, they're right on the border, and I'm going to move on. But in relation to this Jeffrey Epstein stuff, I just want to say that this stuff is crazy. And these people at the top and in the middle to top, I mean, everybody's got their own issue, but these people get off on this kind of stuff, and it's very sick. But I've seen Nicki Minaj and I've seen Melinda Gates, and I just want to say that while I like that they're speaking up, it just kind of makes me sick also, because where have you been? Where have you been? Like Nicki Minaj, she made this tweet and said all this horrific stuff about Jay-Z or whoever else, people in the entertainment. And Melinda Gates is speaking, and they're questioning her about her husband, Bill Gates, and all this crap. And she's saying something without really saying something. And it just makes me sick, because it's just like, why now? I'm glad that you're speaking up finally, but think of all the children that you could have kept safe, that you could have kept alive, because we know in the Jeffrey Epstein files, some of these people are even talking about killing children. You have my permission to kill him or kill her or this. What? So, and then what Nicki Minaj is talking about in her tweet are saying they're doing this stuff to get the blood of children. How do you get the blood of people without cutting them or hurting them or doing stuff? So, like, where have you been? Where have your morals and your conscience and all this stuff, where has it been? It seems like it's too little, too late. Yeah, thank you for speaking up, but think of all the lives that have been taken and all of the lives that have been destroyed by these sick perverts. And you're really just as bad. You're really just as bad. Thank you, but no thanks, but thank you. Okay? This is just sick. This is just very sick. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, Don Lemon. I used to like Don Lemon, but I still like Don Lemon to a certain extent. But it's like he just keep going further and further and further left. I used to watch his show a lot on CNN. Loved Don. But I have no idea what in the world. He just kept going and going and going till he just went off the cliff. And it's like he's okay with nobody pulling him back up on the land. He wants to keep falling further and further down off the cliff. And that's fine. That's his choice. But so he got arrested. I think it's wrong that he got arrested. I think they was trying to make an example out of Don. He got with this group of people up in Minnesota, and let me see, I wrote a little bit about it. Let me see, where did I go? He got with this group. They were doing this operation. This girl named Nakima Armstrong. She is a former NAACP president of their local chapter there in Minnesota, wherever, in Minnesota. She had put together a operation called Operation Pull Up. Now, they found out that this pastor of this church was also an ICE agent. He is a field director of ICE in the St. Paul area. So they decide, I guess, the way it looks, that they gonna bum rush his church while he having service and protest inside the church. I don't know. I don't know if this, it looks to me like Don, I watched the video finally of Don in there. It looks to me like he was trespassing, but, excuse me, he knew that to me, because they showed him outside and he knew they was at a church. He knew, who was they going to talk to? To me it seemed like he knew they were going to go inside the church. I don't know if he knew, but it looked like he knew. He wound up inside the church with everybody else. So, long story short, they broke up this pastor's service. And these people was in there hollering. I don't know if they was chanting, saying stuff, and it was just like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? And then this woman, Nakima Armstrong, she had the gall to say that she was a reverend. Like that made her look better. So, it's just, I don't know. They just claimed they was charging Don with the FACE Act or the KKK something. I don't know. But it looked like all he did was just trespass. But I don't know. Some people were claiming that he was standing in the doorway when people were attempting to go out and the people couldn't pass by. Now, if he was blocking people and stuff, then he was interfering with their rights. But I don't know if that's on tape, and I don't know if that's what he did. I didn't see it. But anywho, hang on just a minute. I will be right back with y'all. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So I forgot where I was at, but she said she was a reverend, okay? Dawn said they were going in, and this woman said, I don't know if Dawn said it or not, but Dawn said he was going in to catch people off guard and to hold them account. This woman said she wanted to disrupt business as usual. So, if she's a reverend, I don't know why she'd want to go inside of a church and protest when she know people are having service. Why would you want to stop people from hearing about Jesus Christ? But anyhow, so the pastor is an ICE agent. Clearly the problem they have with the pastor is a political one. I don't even know why they would go up in there. They went up in there, Nakima and the people that came with her, to protest. They were in there walking back and forth like in a formation, saying slogans, whatever they had made up to say, and stuff like that. Don was trying to ask people questions, and he kept saying to people, I'm not with the group. I'm not with the group. But you came in with the group. If the group had not came in, was you going to come in by yourself? I highly doubt it. So you are with the group. You're not actually in here protesting, but you came in with the group so you could get footage of the group and of the protest and ask your questions. So anyway, it seemed to me that if the person you have a problem with is the pastor, because he's also a ICE field agent or whatever, why wouldn't you catch him while he's coming into church or going out from church? Or why wouldn't you go to the ICE office or whatever? So Don, he was catching people. He talked to the pastor inside the church, and the pastor told him that he had to go check on his family and his flock, and that he was going to have to ask Don to leave unless he was there to worship. And Don going to say, I always worship. I'm a Christian. And he said it like it was a joke. I don't even believe Don is a Christian. That's just my opinion. I don't believe he's a Christian. He went on to say that, I'll get there. I hope I get there. I'm going to try and wrap this up. So, the lady Nakima, who put this Operation Pull Up together, she said that she wants justice for Renee Good and others. That's what she said. I don't understand why she wouldn't be at the ICE office. Why do you think that these people that are in here trying to worship and hear the word are going to be the ones that you're going to hold accountable for justice for Renee Good, who is the lady who the ICE people shot her in the face, and something else happened up there in Minnesota. I'm not sure. With a guy, last name Peretti or something. I don't know, but it's dangerous. I understand people wanting to protest and whatnot, but if you're going to protest, you need to be doing it safely. I mean, you see that these people have no regard for human life. You know, it's not safe to try to be in the way of them trying to apprehend people, or if they have their eyes set on a person who they think is a disruptor. Why would you get in the middle of that? It's clear that these people really don't care who gets hurt in the mayhem of whatever is going on. There's a way to protest, and people need to protest smart, because this is very dangerous. It looks like it's getting more and more dangerous. It's dangerous. So Dawn's people are coming outside the church. And in my opinion, the longer the protest goes on, you see Don's true reason for being there. He's there because he wants to see them target this pastor who is an ICE agent. But he's also there because I believe deep down, in my opinion, Don has this thing against Christians, against real Christians. It just seems that way to me. I could be wrong. But the people in the church, some of the protesters are in there saying, why are you not out protesting? Saying it to the people who were at church having service. Why are you not out protesting with the Somalis? You're living comfortable. Why aren't you helping them? How do these people, they're saying, like, why aren't you helping them? How do they know that they don't? I don't understand it. Then, once people are coming out, Don's outside trying to ask people questions as they come out. And now he asks one of the churchgoers, do you understand that many of these people feel voiceless? Talking about the people that ICE is going after. He asked a churchgoer, do you understand many of these people feel voiceless? Who are you talking about? Which people are you talking about? And what is this man supposed to do about the people that feel voiceless? He asked the man, and he said, do you know that about people being picked up off the streets and the Constitution? And the man, he can't even get his thoughts together to answer Don, because he's in shock of what just happened in the middle of their worship service. He was 1 minute praising the Lord, and the next minute people were like shouting and in formation like an army coming against them, and against their pastor. This man is still dumbfounded. He can't even answer the question. So again, why don't you talk to the pastor? Catch him after the service or before service or down at the ICE office. Go down there. That would be too easy, in my opinion, to go try to catch him at the ICE office or before or after service. No, you want to make a show. You want to make a spectacle. So that's why I say it's against Christians as well. It is, because you want to make a show. That's just my opinion. So, now, Don said, oh, I'm a Christian. And the lady, Nikema Armstrong, she said, oh, I'm a reverend. To me, that's a definite red flag. When it's a red flag warning, when those people tell you the title that they have, it's like they only have the title and not the lifestyle. It's just like real Republicans call fake Republicans rhinos, Republicans in name only. We'll call these people Christianos. There's Christians in name only. It's crazy. Then in a later interview, Don, he said, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice. And I'm like, how many types of Christianity are there? Are you telling me something I don't know? And then he says, but this is entitlement. He's saying some Christians, the way they behave comes from white supremacy. I didn't see that. Even the man who he was talking to outside of the church, he wasn't white. He looked like he was Hispanic or mixed or something. He said the Christianity that some people have comes from white supremacy, and they have this entitlement. I don't understand that. I didn't see that. Not in this instance. I know what he's talking about, but I didn't see it in this instance. He's using this as a chance, like I said, to attack Christianity, which he always tries to do. This is not the Christianity that I practice. So what is it about? Is it about Renee Good and these people that are being done wrong in your eyes by ICE, or is it about the Christianity that you practice? He goes on to say that they think that this country was built for them. And he says, actually, we left England for religious freedom. What? We left England? You left England? Your family, your ancestors? I believe his mama lives in Mississippi or somewhere. His family's from Mississippi. When did you leave England? For religious freedom? I thought these people wanted freedom from the king. I thought these people were like people that were prisoners and misfits and all kind of people that came over here to get away from England because they didn't want to be under the rule of the... Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. He said that we left England for religious freedom and that they think this country was built for them. Who is he talking about? And what does this have to do with ICE protests? You see what I'm saying? He's masquerading ICE protest, but it's really all about Christians and Christianity. This is my opinion. So, he said that we left England for religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian, and more to the point, if you're particularly a white male. He said it's an intimidation tactic. He's not even talking about ICE anymore. He's not. So who are you really targeting, Don? Then he says, how do I become the face of all of this? How did he get all put into all this? And, he's arrested and he's the face of this protest and in this church and stuff. Because you pulled up. You went to Operation Pull Up. And you pulled up with the operation. You went in with the operation. You stuck your microphone up in the pastor's face, asking your questions while Operation Pull Up was in full effect. So, of course, people associated you with it. You came in with them, but you're not part of the group. Okay. And so he says, how did I become the face of all this? And then he said, well, his producer said, well, Don, you're a gay black man in America. So that's what this is about then. Foolishness, foolishness, foolishness. So, let me see. So I'm almost done here. So I'm going to quickly talk about the Grammys, which I did not watch. And I'm going to talk about Dan Bongino quickly, and I'm going to be done. I saw a clip. I saw one of the people that I watch online. I saw them do a recap of the Grammys, but I could only take it for about 25 minutes. I saw Wale. I ain't seen him in a long time. He ain't made no music or nothing. If you know him, you know him. If you don't, you don't. Why was he on there at the Grammy parties or at the Grammys, period, with his hair like a woman's. Like, what is that all about? He had the curly bun at the back, and then he had the part in the middle with the two, how we all used to wear our hair back in the day. We used to put our little bun up on the back, and we used to part it in the middle and have the two little Like, why are you doing your hair like that? Like, what are you trying to prove? What are you doing? Do you want to look like a man, or do you want to look like a woman? Like, what are you doing? It's not cute. It's not cute. You're a grown man. You should look and act like one. I think it's a mess. Then Kendrick Lamar, he's beat out Jay-Z. He has now 27 Grammys, and he won 5 the other night, they said. Allegedly, they're saying that Jay-Z has left the country. I don't know, because he's in the Epstein files. And I just want to ask, who is this Bad Bunny person? It's a man that looks sweet. I'm just calling it like it is, because I'm old. I'm over the hill. I'm just calling it like it is. He's a nice looking young man, but he looks sweet. Some of his videos, he's dressed as a woman. He looked like a full-fledged woman, looked better than a lot of women. And why is his name Bad Bunny? And what is his music about? Like, what is this? He won some Grammys, or a Grammy, or whatever. And I just don't understand, like, why is he even in the music industry? I don't know. I'm praying about all of this. And if you are really a believer, Holy Spirit filled of Jesus Christ, you need to be praying about all of this. All this stuff is going to get worse, way worse. Dan Bongino. So, before Dan Bongino resigned from the FBI, I was saying, Dan Bongino, where are you? The last time we saw him when he was with the FBI was him and Cash Patel sitting up there saying that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Dan Bongino said that there's nothing to see here. There's no there. He killed himself. That's it. He's seen the evidence. He looked like somebody had stuck a pole up his butt, and at the same time had a gun in his back while he was saying, there's nothing to see here. There's no there. You know, he killed himself. There's nothing else there. There's nothing to it. Nobody could believe him just by the way he was looking. You know, and it was stupid for you to get up there and ruin your reputation and lie about it, and then now look what happens. Now look what happens. There's even a witness that says, that worked at the jail or the prison, wherever Jeffrey Epstein was, it says they came in the night before, allegedly, and took Jeffrey Epstein out. Why you go ruin your reputation knowing you had to live and make a living after this farce of an administration? I voted for Trump. Yes, I did. And I'm okay with the things that he did that I want him to do. There's a lot that he's doing and did that I'm not here for. But what can you do? You take the good and the bad and you pray. You know that there's a God above all this. And pray. But you, Dan Bongino, sit up here and ruined your credibility, and now you're mad at the world. He didn't come back to the internet, and he's doing podcasting again, and he is mad as fire at everybody. Dan Bongino, I just want to say, what happened to you at the FBI? You chose to get up there and lie to the world. You had a choice. They was telling you to lie. You had a mind and a conscience of your own. You could have said, I'm not doing this, and you could have resigned right then, but no, you did. And now you're the podfather again. You're talking about other podcasters, and you're talking about you're all about accountability. You have no accountability. You're just like Erica Kirk and TPUSA, in my opinion. You have no credibility and no accountability. None of that. That's not associated with you. You blew it. That's in the past. Long gone. It's done. No, it's dead. Ashes. No. So, you had credibility before you went to the FBI. Okay? And because they turned you into a lying dirtbag and you had to fall on Cash Patel's sword and Donald Trump's sword and everybody else's sword, you're mad at us because we realized that you fell on their sword and that you're a dirtbag liar. And you chose to be just like everybody else even though you pretended that's not who you were. You're mad at us because we realize that you are just like all of them. You are a big dirtbag liar, in my opinion. Don't be mad at us because we realize exactly who and what you are. And we're calling you on it. Dave Smith, he totally, absolutely roasted you. He set you on fire and he roasted you. Nobody else don't even really need to ever roast you again because he totally burnt you up to ashes. And blew the ashes away. We don't know where they are. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And I got 5 minutes before it's an hour. I want to speak about this right quick. I don't know if any of y'all are following Ibrahim Traore. He is from Burkina Faso in West Africa. So he is the military leader of Burkina Faso. So the West African nation, they've banned political parties in his nation. Now, I don't know if they call them Sahel states that are joined. I know it's 3 that have joined with Burkina Faso. It's Mali and Niger that have joined with Burkina Faso. But I don't know if all of those countries have banned political parties, but I know Burkina Faso has. And I think that's absolutely excellent. That's just my opinion. So these 3 Western countries, they have turned to Russia, and now the U.S. wants to engage with them. No, very dangerous. I think the United States and other Western countries, like Europe and all this stuff, should stay out of it. Ibrahim Traore put France out of their country. And I think that was a wonderful thing. My hope is that other Western African countries, and this is just my opinion and I'm nobody, but I hope other Western African countries will join with Mali and Niger and Burkina Faso and really join with them and really unite and consolidate their power and get on one economic accord and have real power, and because they can be self-sufficient, and I hope that they will, and keep the Western countries out of their business. And if they have to join with Russia and China, make them 50-50 partners, or make a deal that's been more beneficial for them, whether it's 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, whatever it is, with them on the bigger side. It's time. You know, all of the Western countries have had their chance, and they stole, they took advantage, they raped, they pillaged. Sorry, you're done. You've had your chance. So I hope that they really bond together and really unify and become self-sufficient and self-reliant and keep the Western countries out of it. Well, that's all I have for now. I could go on and on and on, but I just want to say God bless you all. If you don't know our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who died for us, just want to say that you need to get to know Him. It is a dark and tricky and dangerous time, and it's going to get worse, and we need to be reading our Bibles. We need to be reading our Bibles. We need to be praying against all this wickedness in high places, spiritual darkness, principalities and powers. We need to really be praying against this stuff and stand on God's word. That's where our strength comes from. So if you don't know Jesus, I pray that you will get to know Him. Just ask Him to help you to believe, to forgive your sins, and to save you and give you eternal life for God's glory. Amen.